Welcome to another session of our PWT Plus Straight Talks for All on Mental Health Awareness, Leadership and Success series. Thank you for those of you who are with us live today, and thanks for those who will be watching on demand. At PWT Plus and SKALLIbility Coaching, we believe that difficulties aren't resolved until they are discussed over and over again, and until the underlying concerns are well addressed. This is why we are determined to continue our straight talks and conversations around mental health in general and men's mental health in particular. Today, we are gonna turn our attention towards the impacts of our mental health and well-being on our decision-making. I'm Youssef Skalli, professional empowerment coach, former corporate globetrotter with a background in finance and HR leadership, founder of SKALLIbility Coaching, a mental health ally, advocate, and awareness campaigner with a focus on men's mental health, or what some researchers would call nowadays a silent crisis, which is not that silent anymore, thankfully. Decisions. Have you ever taken any decision and came back later when you thought of it thoroughly and questioned yourself, or thought, oh, I may have done that, I may have taken that decision or the other one? Well, this happened to me many times. Decisions are part of our life. Every day, if not every second, whether we recognize it or not, we are faced with the multiple options and choices that we try to navigate to the best of our abilities. Effective decision-making promotes a sense of self-satisfaction and self-accomplishment. It promotes a positive thinking, which improves in itself our mental wellness. In parallel, a good state of mental fitness or mental wellness and a reduced level of anxiety provides us with a mind clarity and an opportunity to take good, grounded, non-biased, effective decisions. I see your comments on the chats, and I fully agree with that. Therefore, decision-making can be challenging for those of us who might be dealing with any kind of mental health issues. And that's why it's really important, it is critical to develop coping mechanisms and self-care practices that work for you in times of distress or confusion, in order to clear up your mind and get you to a state of peace that is most conducive to successful decision-making. When I was diagnosed with burnout, depression, and prolonged anxiety, one of the first things that my therapist insisted on was to avoid taking any big decision at that time. She explained to me that I would be having less clarity in my mind and poorer capability to think through my options, which may lead to either a decision paralysis or an impaired decision-making ability. That made me understand, looking back at the 2 years prior to my diagnosis, where my stress would lead me towards overthinking or overanalyzing, or sometimes at the other side of the spectrum, I would take decisions quickly more by risk aversion, specifically to avoid additional anxiety and stress because I was having already enough. In psychology, they would call it cognitive distortions. I would call them simply unhelpful thinking styles, where we tend, when we are facing a high level of stress or dealing with a mental health challenge, we tend to see only one aspect of the situation from a narrow window, and we would make short-sighted decisions just to go through the day. I've done that for quite long time. But my journey helped me to understand that decision-making is a process that requires a high level of self-knowledge, because the more we know about ourselves, the easier it gets to explore our options. And being aware of those unhelpful thinking styles where we tend to think either black or white, we tend to apply mental filters that are completely dependent on our mental state at the moment of making the decision, or where we jump to conclusions, or we use labeling, or generalizing. This will never work. I can't do that. Or shoulding. I shouldn't do that. It should not be that way. Or catastrophizing. Or turning everything to this feeling of guilt that this is my fault. Being aware of those different unhelpful thinking and how our mental health state affect that is really important. So this is why we thought of bringing to light this topic to increase the awareness around how strong the impacts can be of our mental health status on our decision making. So next time when you think of your mental health, and especially as a leader having to deal with different priorities, different goals and objectives on daily basis, whether on your personal or professional life, try to observe the thinking patterns and how it affects your decision-making and its effectiveness. After this talk, for those of you who are with us, we'll continue the conversation and sharing our experiences. For those who are watching on demand, our next session will be on June 22nd. You are welcome to join us live, and we would love to hear from you. So feel free to comment, feel free to reach out, and we will be glad to continue the discussion on mental health awareness, leadership, and success with a focus on men's mental health. And just remember, you are not alone, and continue walking towards being great, where great stands for grounded, resilient, empathetic, aware, and thankful. Thank you.